You think women stop noticing you after 60 because the game is over, the market has changed, and youth has already won. But the truth is almost the opposite. What makes a man magnetic now was never his age. It was always his frame. You've been sold a weak story that your value expired. That desire belongs to younger men. That all you can do now is try to look less old, act less old, apologize for being old. And that is exactly why too many men over 60 become invisible. Not because they lost their appeal, but because they surrendered their presence. They started shrinking before life ever told them to. If you need truth like this in your life, subscribe now, not for me, for you. Because you are living in a world that will constantly tempt you to forget who you are, and if you do not have strong reminders, you will drift right back into self-doubt, people-pleasing, and quiet self-betrayal. Here's what it really means when women can't resist a man over 60 who does this. It does not mean he has a perfect body. It does not mean he is trying to compete with men half his age. It does not mean he is performing masculinity like a teenager with money and a sports car. It means he has become deeply settled in himself. He knows who he is. He is not trying to win approval. He is bringing reality into the room. And reality, when it is embodied by a man with self-respect, is rare. That rarity is attractive. Most men get this wrong. They think attraction at this stage is about tactics. Say this, text that. Wear this watch, use this line. No, that is the misconception. The hard truth is simpler and harder. Women are not drawn to an older man because he tries harder. They are drawn to him because he no longer leaks need. He is not restless for validation. He is not auditioning. He is not trying to negotiate his worth through charm, generosity, or endless availability. He has stopped asking the room for permission to exist. Why does this matter so much? Because neediness ages a man faster than time ever could. Insecurity shows up in your posture, your pace, your voice, your laughter, your words, your texting, your over-explaining, your tolerance for disrespect. It makes you rush. It makes you chase. It makes you agree too quickly. It makes you try to prove you're still desirable. And the moment you start proving, you stop possessing. The moment you start chasing an image, you abandon your center. That's called self-abandonment. And nobody trusts a man who abandons himself. That is the root cause. Not age. Disconnection. Disconnection from your standards. Disconnection from your purpose. Disconnection from your body. Disconnection from the years you've actually lived and the wisdom they were supposed to build. Too many men reach 60 with experience but no integration. They have stories but no gravity. They have history but no clarity. They have pain but no discipline. So they either become bitter or they become soft in the wrong way, passive, apologetic, available to everyone and anchored to nothing. And that costs you more than romance. It costs you your edge. It costs you your peace. It costs you the look in your own eyes when you know you still belong to yourself. Because once a man starts defining himself by who still wants him, he becomes easy to control. He tolerates mixed signals. He overinvests in people who underdeliver. He starts performing youth instead of embodying maturity. He confuses attention with respect. He confuses chemistry with alignment. He confuses being chosen with being valued. And that confusion will drain a man dry. So reframe it. Women are not resisting old age. They are responding to energy, to stability, to clean self-possession, to a man who is finished arguing with reality. A man over 60 becomes powerful when he stops seeing himself as a discounted younger man and starts becoming a fully formed older man, not less than. Different, sharper, calmer, more dangerous in the best way. Because now he is no longer driven by impulse. He is directed by principle. You know the man I'm talking about? You've met him once or twice. Maybe you saw him in a restaurant, in a meeting, at a family gathering, on a walk, at the gym, saying very little and affecting the whole room anyway. He is not loud. He is not trying to be the center of attention. But people feel him. Why? Because he is there, fully there. His words are measured. His humor is dry and effortless. His clothing is simple but intentional. His body language says, I do not need to convince you. He listens without collapsing into agreement. He speaks without aggression. He can enjoy a woman without orbiting her. He can admire beauty without becoming enslaved by it. He can say no without guilt. He can say yes without fear. He does not panic when there is silence. He does not perform when there is tension. He does not overshare to create false intimacy. He does not rush to fill empty space because he is not empty. That man is attractive because he is grounded. That's the word. Grounded, not numb. Not cold. Grounded. There is a difference. Coldness pushes people away to avoid vulnerability. Groundedness stays steady in the face of it. Coldness is fear wearing armor. Groundedness is strength without noise. Women feel that difference immediately. And let's say the quiet part out loud. Many women over time get tired of boys in grown bodies. Tired of emotional chaos. Tired of inconsistency. Tired of men who want feminine energy around them but bring no masculine steadiness into the space. Tired of men who flirt hard but fold under pressure. Tired of men who want admiration but have not built a life they respect. So when they encounter a man over 60 who is calm, clear, playful, self-led, and unneedy, that does not feel old. That feels safe. That feels rare. That feels expensive. Not because of money, because of inner order. You want the secret? It is not seduction. It is congruence. Your words, your standards, your habits, your boundaries, your life, your energy, all saying the same thing. That's called integrity. And integrity is attractive because it removes confusion. A woman can relax around a man whose center is not for sale. So what do? First, stop trying to market yourself like a product. Stop opening with credentials. Stop listing what you own, what you've done, who you know, how fit you are, how busy you are, how young you feel. Stop trying to win with resume energy. Attraction is not built by your biography. It is built by your being. Stop over-pursuing. Stop sending the second message when the first one was already enough. Stop treating interest like a fragile flame you must keep alive with constant performance. Stop assuming every delay is rejection and every silence is a crisis. You stop chasing. You stop explaining. You stop over-investing before reality earns it. You stop offering premium access to people showing budget character. Start with your body. Stand up straight, walk slower, breathe deeper, train, not to look 25, to feel inhabited. Strength matters, mobility matters, energy matters. A man who can move well, carry himself well, and take care of his physical life sends a message without speaking. He says, I have not quit on myself. That message lands. Then clean up your life. Fix what you've been tolerating. The cluttered room, the neglected finances, the unresolved bitterness, the chaotic schedule, the dependency on comfort, the passive habits, the drinking that numbs you, the scrolling that empties you, the conversations that lower you. Do you want to be desired? Become a man whose life reflects self-respect. Desire is not separate from discipline. It feeds on it. Then recover your purpose. Not a fantasy, not a performance. A real reason to wake up. Something you build, serve, mentor, create, lead, improve, protect. Purpose changes your eyes. It changes the sound of your voice. It changes the way you enter a room because you are not entering that room to be fed. You are entering it already full. That changes everything. Then tighten your standards. This is where many men fail because they still think standards are for the young and compromise is maturity. Wrong. Discernment is maturity. You are not here to entertain confusion. If a woman is inconsistent, unavailable, disrespectful, manipulative, or vague, believe the pattern. Do not negotiate with red flags because you are afraid of starting over. Fear makes men bargain with dysfunction. Self-respect walks away early. Speak plainly. Mean what you say. If you like her, let it be known without begging. If you don't fake warmth to avoid discomfort. If something bothers you, address it once, clearly, calmly, no drama, no speeches, no hidden resentment, presence versus performance, reality versus fantasy, calm truth versus desperate strategy. Choose your side. And here is a hard one. Let go of the need to be universally liked. That need is poison. It will make you too agreeable, too available, too soft at the edges. A strong man over 60 understands something younger men often don't. Being respected is more important than being instantly liked, and being real is more attractive than being polished. When you stop trying to be harmless to everyone, you become trustworthy to the right people. That does not mean becoming rigid. It means becoming clear. There is a difference. Clear men are easy to feel. They are emotionally available without being emotionally sloppy. They can be warm without melting. They can be kind without becoming weak. They can desire a woman without worshiping her. They can enjoy connection without making it their identity. Do this in sequence. Rebuild your body. Reclaim your time. Clarify your standards. Strengthen your routines. Remove what drains you. Speak less, mean more. Date slower. Observe longer. Invest after evidence. Keep your word. Leave quickly when respect disappears. Redirect your hunger away from approval and into purpose. Redirect your loneliness away from chasing and into building. Redirect your energy away from fantasy and into reality. Because that is what women respond to in a man over 60. Not age denial, not tricks, not polish, not endless niceness. They respond to a man who has become solid. A man who can hold eye contact without trying to dominate. A man who can laugh at himself without losing dignity. A man who is not bitter about the past, not frantic about the future, and not ashamed of his years. He wears his years like earned rank. And if you're listening to this thinking, I'm not that man yet, good. Because at least now you're honest. And honesty is where power begins. You do not need to become fake. You do not need to become younger. And you do not need to become richer in order to become more magnetic. You need to become more aligned, more disciplined, more self-respecting, more real. This is your identity reset. You are not a man trying to be chosen before time runs out. You are a man choosing what aligns with the life and standards you now refuse to betray. Feel the difference? One is fear. The other is authority. One begs. The other filters. One performs. The other stands. So stand. Stand in your years. Stand in your truth. Stand in your body. Stand in your standards. Stand in your peace. Let the men who panic keep performing. Let the men who chase keep chasing. Let the men who fear aging keep bargaining with their dignity. You don't need that path anymore. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are not too old. If anything, this is the season where you finally stop leaking power and start consolidating it. This is where you stop asking, am I still enough? And start living like a man who knows the answer. You are the answer. And if you want more truth like this, subscribe so you keep these reminders close when the world tries to soften your standards and blur your vision. Stay here with this community of men who would rather hear the truth than be comforted by lies and who are done apologizing for becoming stronger, clearer, and more fully themselves.